Hi, and welcome to another edition of the PMFRC's Fireside Chat. My name is Julie Hollinger, and I am here with my friend Sue LeClaire, who is the Children's Services Manager here at the PMFRC. If you've been in the military for a while, you know that we tend to go through seasons in the year, and different things sort of pop up and raise to our front of mind as concerns. At this time of year, a lot of people are thinking about maybe posting messages and where they may be heading in the new year. If you have littles, that means we're going to have to fight new arrangements of where those littles are going to be during the day when you're at work. And it may require looking at some childcare arrangements and some wait lists and how to make that happen. So we've invited Sue here to join us. Sue is our expert on all things childcare and can answer all of the questions about childcare wait lists. So we have pulled together a few of those questions and we want to be able to share that information with you ahead of time. But before I do, just want to remind folks of a couple of things that are happening here at the PMFRC. Our PMFRC Mental Health Walk-in Clinic is happening tonight, this evening at the Southside Community Center. I'm going to share a link below to give you all the information about that, but it's first come, first serve. And it's an opportunity to sit down and talk to one of our mental health professionals, one of our clinicians, about some of the issues and get some advice and resources that might help you or your family members. The other thing that we wanted to talk about is March 25th, we are doing a workshop called Understanding the Medical Release Process. So if that is something that might be on the horizon for one of your family members, that might be of interest to you. This workshop is specifically for partners and spouses who will be supporting somebody through that process. It's very difficult sometimes to sort of be able to know what's going on when you're getting that information secondhand. So this is an opportunity for you to ask your questions about that process and get the answers that you need to help you make those plans for the future. Last thing, April is month of the military child. It's a very exciting time at the PMFRC. We've got a lot of stuff planned, so I would encourage you to keep following the Facebook page and check those things out. We've got Teal Out Tuesdays. We have all that information about stuff that will be happening at the PMFRC in celebration of military kids. So Sue, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate you coming along, and I know that you are also very excited for month of the military child and our Teal Up event. But let's talk about wait lists. So one of the questions that I hear most often is, when is it time to put my child on the wait list? Sometimes they've just heard rumblings of a posting message. Sometimes you hear about things, but it's not you don't necessarily have something in your hot little hand saying when you're going or where you're going. And I think another thing that people ask about is they're expecting and they have a baby on the way and they don't necessarily know when they should go on that wait list, so they know that they're going to have care when it comes time to go back to work. So tell us, when is it time to put yourself on that wait list?
So short answer is as soon as possible. So if you hear rumblings that you're being posted to Petawawa and you still don't have a posting message, you can still reach out to our office and put your children on the wait list. So as soon as you think you may be moving to Petawawa, to reach out to us and get that wait list application form filled out. Again, if you're expecting, as soon as possible, place your child on the wait list. You know, parents often worry that, they don't have exact information like due date, name of child. We just need the parents' information, and then ask that when the little one arrives, you reach out to us with the exact birth date and their names, and we will update the wait list at that time. So as soon as as soon as you're able to reach out to us.
So the baby doesn't have to be born and you don't need to have an address and be officially moved into Petawawa. You could start well in advance to get on the list.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, I guess my next question is, if you live in Petawawa and you are driving around the north side, you have seen the building that is going up across from Canucks, and you have seen the information about how a new child care center is going to be in there. A lot of people have asked us about, how do I get on the wait list for that new child care center? Can you talk to us a little bit about those people who want to get on the wait list there? And if you're already on our wait list, what do you have to do to be considered for a spot in the new building?
Sure. So that is a great question. We do have families reaching out saying, I'm currently on your wait list. How do I get on the new daycare wait list? If you're currently on our wait list, it just transfers over. You do not have to worry. So you're just being transferred over. We have one initial wait list for all of our programs. So if you're not currently on our wait list, you would reach out to our office and you can fill out a waitlist application form. You can also find those on our website. So the application form is on the website. or you can just simply email waitlist@petawawapmfrc.com and one will be sent to you. But our waitlist has all of our information.
So I think that's an important point to mention is that there's only one wait list for the PMFRC. So we have a number of different programs, private home daycare, Little Troopers North, Little Troopers South. You don't have to fill in multiple applications for all of those programs. There's one and you would be considered for all the programs.
Yeah, so when you get the waitlist application form, you check what programs you're most interested in, depending what your need is, but it's all located off of one list in one office. So it's managed from one person, and that's the way it kind of works. So you don't have to panic thinking you're on our current wait list and you need to go on the new wait list. It's all one.
So I guess the other question I have is once somebody puts themselves on that wait list, what are you hoping parents should know? What information should they have with them while they're sitting on the wait list about, so how is the list moving? Sometimes people call and they get on the wait list and the number looks awfully big. They think that I'm never going to get to the top of the list in time. Can you give us a little bit of information about being on that wait list and what are the things that families should know?
So our wait list is quite long. And we do our best to do check-ins with families. We try to do them quarterly to see if they still need care, if things have changed. Typically, we tell our families that it takes 20 families to fill one space. So we usually have to go through about 20 people on our wait list to get one space filled. So even though it looks daunting that your number is quite high, it could move quicker than you anticipate. So I think that's the most important thing to know. The other thing is to reach out to us if things change. So if you have a phone number change, if you have an email change, anything like that, reach out to us. We can change your application form because once a space is available, as a parent, you only have 48 hours to get back to us and accept that space. So it's really important that you give us the proper information. Or if you know you're going to be away, on a deployment or away from work, that we have someone to contact that will accept that space for you.
So how do you typically reach out to families? Do you call them on the phone? Do you do email? I know I personally am really cautious when I get an email and I'm not necessarily expecting it. And oftentimes people maybe aren't answering a phone number that they don't recognize. Do you send an email? Do you send a voice, do you call? Do you leave a voicemail if you don't reach us? How do we sort of people make sure that they get those information messages?
So we do both. So initially you'll receive an email saying that the space is available, what program it's located in, and that the date and time, and you have 48 hours to respond. And in that email, it will state that we're going to follow up with a phone call. So we also follow up with a phone call. If we have to leave a message, we do, and then we track it so that we know that we can't offer that space to somebody else until 48 hours goes by.
And when you do call and ask for that information, if someone's still concerned and you want to double check that, you can just call back our Northside office with the number that's on the website. We understand that people are cautious and there's a lot of things going on there, so you may not necessarily want to volunteer personal information. You can tell the person that you can call them back if that's going to make you more comfortable. We'll make sure that happens. What if someone turns down the spot? What happens to them?
So if somebody turns down the space because they don't need care right now, they're removed from the list, or if they want to remain on the list, they're moved to the very bottom. So we really encourage families, if a space does become available and you don't need it right that minute, you may want to readjust things that you're able to accept it at that time.
Perfect. So talked about the list a lot. How do I get on the list? Where do I find it? Where do I fill it out? Where do I send it to? What's that process to get yourself on the wait list?
So again, you can just go onto our website. Our wait list is there. You can fill it out and it goes to a general email box at our wait list at Petawawa MFRC. And then you will be contacted to say that, we've received your wait list. Is there we'll clarify information. If there's information missing, we'll make sure we have all the correct information. And then we'll let you know where you are on the wait list.
How long does it typically take to move through the wait list? How long does it usually? I know there's obviously some exceptions because there's going to be some circumstances where, you have special requirements or, if you have sometimes twins that have to be placed together or larger family groupings. But on average, what are people what should they expect?
So within our community, just because of the nature of our community, the only real movement is midsummer during posting season, then again in September when our preschool children move into the school system. So those are our only real 2 times a year that we have any movement. And it's 18 months to 2 years. If you're putting your little one on the list like as soon as you can, that is typically, although we can't set an exact time frame, that's the pattern that we've saw.
So if someone is expecting and you put yourself on the wait list, you will not be the only person the baby that's on the way. You're not going to be the only one there, and that's really the best time to plan and make sure that you have all that information there and ready. The fabulous folks on our marketing team put together a new page on our website that has all of the waitlist information together. It's got all of our frequently asked questions. It's got the links to fill in the waitlist, all the contact information. So everything you need related to the waitlist, we've pulled it all together in one spot to make it a little bit easier. We know when those posting messages come through or when these changes are happening, there's a lot of things to think about. So we're trying to make things as easy as possible for folks. If you do have questions about waitlists in the meantime, please let us know. And we would be more than happy to add that information to the sheet to make sure that we are thinking about all of the things as we go through. Thanks for joining me, Sue. I really appreciate you taking the time. And if you are heading to Petawawa in the future, we would love to meet you. Give us a call. Like we always say, no door is the wrong door. If you are reaching out to the PMFRC, ask the question. If you're asking somebody, it's not the right person, we're going to put you in touch with the right person. So please give us a call, reach out, ask your questions, and see what we can do at the PMFRC to support you in your journey with the military. Thanks for joining us. We will see you in the future. Next month, we're going to be back to talk about Month of the Military Child. Have a great day.